Welcome to Scott Ferrell Show. Thank you so much for joining me. A great pleasure for me to be able to spend time with you. Hope you had a great weekend. I know I did. It's a special time of year for me because I like to watch the Olympics. My wife and I sat and watched the Olympics all weekend. It's one of our favorite sporting events. And the great thing is we've still got a few more weeks left. Now I want to talk about a specific topic just to start our time off together, and that's putting in the time. But it's got something to do with the Olympics, and it's probably got something to do with your past weekend. Now, what am I talking about saying putting in the time? Well, in my coaching and consulting practice, what I do is put in the time for you. And I teach you how to put in the time to change your life. When people come to me, they've got a problem. They want me to help get the solution. It's that simple. That's what I do. Problem, solutions. What I've done for 25 plus years. But you got to put in the time to solve the problem. And as I watched the Olympics this past weekend, you see a lot of people that put in the time. And I'm not just talking athletes now. I'm talking about every single person associated with the Olympics. Just look at the starting ceremonies. You've got the big one, and then you've got all the little ones that are associated with each athletic event. It's amazing how many volunteers. I didn't look up today how many volunteers it takes, but I can't even imagine having to coordinate just the beginning of the Olympics. Then I watched some of the bike race, and I watched all the volunteers it took to pull off that bike race, especially with all the accidents that were taking place. So many people had to put in the time to make sure that everything went off without a hitch, and if there was a hitch, they were able to correct it. And you watched beach volleyball, and then last night was gymnastics. The girls, I don't know what I'm talking about the guys. And you look at all the gymnastic teams, and they're high-fiving and hugging. And you look at ours. They're kind of staring. Not a lot of love on that bitch, I don't think. It doesn't look like they really care for each other. Because I was watching the guys the previous night, and our men's team's real into each other. It looks like a team. Our girls' team looks like 5 people that don't really care for each other, but they've got on the same uniform, and they're going to put on the good face, and they're going to put on the fake smile. And they're going to get it done, and they did last night. But the highlight of the night was the 4x100 relay, the men's swimming relay, to where Phelps and the boys did it again. It's great always to have those gold medals on American soil. Yeah, USA #1. I can get behind that. But I want to talk about putting in the time. What's that really mean? Well, for every single generation, it's meant something different. For my clients, sometimes it means something different, till I sit down and explain it to them. I was looking up all the announcers last night that were doing the Olympics. And one was one I really liked when I was a kid. But the last Olympics this person was in was 1976. And that was the big Olympics. Bruce Jenner is man of the year. He runs the triathlon. The decathlon. And he's on every kid's wall. And then you've got, last night Rowdy Gaines was doing the swimming. Now he came a little later, but you've got all the athletes between 72 and probably 84 that were so magnificent and great athletes. And now you've got Phelps and this group moving forward. What do they all have in common? They put in the time. Just like when I started this career, I had to put in the time. I had to make sure I had the right mentors. It wasn't going to be about me. I'm not that good. I don't think anybody's that good. You've got to be able to sit down, take what you have raw talent-wise, and ask someone who actually knows what they're doing, and put in the time and let them teach you. I was very fortunate. I had great mentors, Susan, Joel, and the list goes on and on. But they were my 2 big fans and my 2 mentors that put me on the right path for what I was doing. They never wanted me to get in front of a microphone and not know what to do next. So I want to ask you, there's 5 areas I normally operate in when I'm coaching someone, and I'm talking about putting in the time. Now, when you come see me as a coach, I go over these 5 areas every single time we're together. And I want to make sure that you're putting in the time on all 5 of these areas. Because so many times when we say putting in the time, especially like a basketball coach, I'm talking about you putting in the time with me on the court and then going and watching film and doing the study you've got to do. Well, for me now, I'm talking about personal life, financial life, spiritual life, physical condition and physical appearance, and professional life. Sometimes we, humans, we get single-minded. And what's that mean? The single-minded in a not a good way. I'm not talking about single-minded focused. I'm talking about single-minded as far as this is all we're going to do, and we're going to ignore the rest of our lives. Well, what happens if you do that? Is that a positive? No, it's not. Because there's people in your life, and there's people that love you, and they want a relationship with you. Well, there's also business associates that need you. Your body needs you to take care of it. Your creator wants to spend time with you. What happens if you only segment yourself into one thing? Yeah, it's going to cause some serious problems. I was watching another story this past weekend about a Clemson football player. He and his family picked oranges in the groves in South Florida. That's what he did. He went and picked oranges the day of the draft. It was interesting to watch the emotion of everyone because he had put in the time. Graduated from Clemson, phenomenal football player. Come from nothing, spent 4 years at Clemson, done a great job, and now he's ready for the NFL. Been to the combine, still working out hard, but he's still picking oranges. He knew he had to put in the time to help his family till that NFL contract came. Well, naturally, at the end of the story, because it's got to be a happy ending with ESPN, he gets called. He's in the NFL. Right now, he's in training camp. But he put in the time to get there. So let me ask you, let's talk here. For my generation, it was the Wall Street generation. Greed, for the lack of a better word, was good. So greed was good for my people. When we got out of high school between 79 and 85, we thought greed was good. We were willing to work any hour we had to, step on anybody we had to get ahead. Now I look at the new generation. They're more about the collective. They're more about less is more. They're more about earning less money for more happiness and enjoyment. Wow, my generation couldn't even have sniffed that. If you would have said that at a cocktail party with my generation, we'd have busted out laughing. But I want to know, are you willing to put in the time to be great? Can I look at Michael Phelps or Katie Ledecky? What a wonderful young lady. Or the girls in our gymnastics team. Or all the cyclists that rode on Saturday and Sunday. And all the athletes that are yet to compete, especially in track and field. Are you willing to put in the time to be great? Or is mediocre or is okay good enough for you? What I see in our country right now is mediocre and okay. If I can get by just doing this is okay. It's an alarm because USA used to be the best at everything. Are we the best country now? No. Are we the best country to still live in? Yeah, man. I love my country. I tell people, if you doubt the greatness of the United States, leave for at least 3 weeks and then have to come back. You'll learn that this is the most wonderful place in the world. So I ask you again, are you putting in the time to be great? Are you putting in the time? And the areas I talked about, personal, financial, spiritual, physical, and professional. Are you doing what it takes to be the best that you can be? Now, if you have a question about this, questions at scottferrell.com. You can also send me a text, 706-883-9700. When we get back from the break, I'm going to talk about dating. I got asked several questions this past week, and I figured I'd address them now with us. But I'm going to talk about dating in a different way. I want to teach, and you teach me, so send me something on Facebook, first dates and how you can make them great without much of this coming out of your pocket. I'll be right back.
El Rey and Elegy.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elegy.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Welcome back. If you have any questions you want to send me, want me to answer those questions for you, questions at scottferrell.com, or if you want to talk to us during the show, multiple ways. You can do the email, or you can do 706-889-9700, or you can send it to Facebook. I got Facebook up now if you want to chat with me. I'll try to do somewhat live. I can't do everything at one time. I get a little distracted. But go ahead and email me, questions at scottferrell.com, or hit me up on Facebook. Throw your question up. It's always nice to see what everybody's got to say about the topic. When we went to break, I was talking about dating. Man, how can you have a first great date? And can you keep the magic going once you get that first great date? I got tips now. I was talking to some young individuals. I won't say ladies or guys, I'll say individuals. This past weekend. And they're talking about dating. They're talking about bad dating and bad dates and what's going on their dates. And the more young people I talk to, the less fun I think it is to date anymore. I'm kind of glad I'm out of that dating pool. But it made me think of some of the dates I went on when I didn't have any cash. And I really wanted the girl to like me. And what could I do to make this young lady think I'm worth it, but at the same time, I'm flat broke? How am I going to make her want to stick around? So I came up with a list. Maybe you've thought of some of these also. Now, guys, if you're single, ladies, if you're single, take note. I always normally tailor this to the guys because I'm a dude and I understand what it's like to plan the date. So I'll probably handle it from that perspective. So, ladies, bear with me. All right, guys, listen up. Make sure it's fun. Make sure it's fun. If people aren't having fun, are they going to come back? Let's think about you. Anywhere you go, if you don't have a good time, you go to a party. Man, that party was boring. I'm not going back to that anymore. That ball game was boring. That date was boring. Boy, she's boring. Boy, he's boring. Are you going to go back for that? So think about the fun aspect of it. And don't think about what just you enjoy. You've gotten to know this person a little bit. You've either met out in public, you've texted, you've emailed, you've seen their profile online. You've seen something that prompted you to go ahead and ask for the date. And in asking for the date, now that we live in the world of cell phones, we have an opportunity to send a text, which most do. So now we've gotten a little idea of what they like. We probably visited their Facebook page, all their social media photos. So we got an indicator. This person probably likes this. But what can I do for a very low cost? Because some folks' dollar bills ain't exactly there. So I came up with a list. Let me give you the list, and I'm going to go over all the other kind of first dates. I want to handle the economical ones first. I look at national parks. National parks are fine. We live in the North Georgia area, right outside of Atlanta. A lot of stuff to do up here. A lot of beautiful things to see. Barnsley Garden's not far from where we tape. It's a beautiful place. Just go up there and walk around. Because I tell people, this is not the bachelor or bachelorette date where every single thing you have is several dollar bills away and you ain't paying for them, the TV studio is. So when you go on a date with endless amounts of money and somebody else is carrying the tab and they've set it up to be romantic, man, you mess that up, you got no skills at all. So I'm not talking about the bachelor, bachelorette dating. I'm talking about normal people. And when I'm talking about this, when I talk about dating, I'm talking about no sex. No sex. Man, once you start having sex, you stopped growing emotionally with each other and you stop talking. And you stop getting to know each other and now you stop really seeing the peripheral of all the things that have something to do with that person. So now I'm talking about a no sex date where you're forced to talk, you're forced to get to know each other, and you're forced to communicate in some sort of way. All right, so let me get back to stars. You may think I'm crazy. When I was a kid, we used to go to drive-ins. And at the end of the movie, they cut the lights off and we just lay in the convertible or wherever we were outside and look up at stars. It was really cool. And back then, I could tell you just about every location of every star out there. My dad used to teach me when I was a kid. And so I'd sit there with my dad and go, hey, you know what that is? You know what that is? And it was a lot of fun. And it gave us an opportunity to talk. Because after the movie's over and you're just left there in the dark, you got to talk to each other. So what do you talk about? Well, you get to know each other. When you do the national park thing, when you do the free thing, when you do the tour, so we got our museums. And if you want to spend a few bucks, you can go to the aquarium. Chattanooga's not far from us. We've got the Atlantic, you've got, where's the other aquarium? You got Florida. Wherever you are, whatever the attraction is, low cost, high yield, and communication. That's what you want to do. Low cost, high yield, and communication. When you go on that great first date, what's the goal of the first date? Yeah, get to the second date. It's kind of like getting elected in the office. What's the goal? Once you get in the office, stay there. What's the goal in this one? If you really like the person, get an opportunity to really like the person again. But the way to really like the person, it's not by their affection. It's to get to know them. Now, I went in and asked people. I said, would you rather have a guy spend money on you, endless amounts of money, or get to know who you are, learn to respect you, learn to support you, and learn to love you? And I always put the scenario up there. You can't have both. Well, you could. You can if you're with the right guy. But you can't have both. Which one are you going to take? They pick the love, respect every single time. You know you can always earn money. But the love and the respect and the caring and the getting to know each other, you don't always get. Because it takes two people to be able to do this. Both people have to want to be invested. So as I thought about this dating thing, if I wasn't going to do free completely, then I'd want to do something romantic. Well, here's the cool thing. Romantic to one, not always romantic to the other. So what is romantic? Well, the free stuff can be romantic. One of the most romantic dates I've ever had was in a park. All we did was sit on a bench and talk. We got to know each other. When I was young, another one was to the Washington Monument. Just stood there and looked at it. Yep, it's Washington Monument. Yep. Now let's go walk around the mall. Yep. That was it. It was just fun. It was fun getting to know someone. You sit there and you ask them about their childhood, their family, what they love to do, what their dreams are, what it is they really want to accomplish in life. And while you're asking these questions, You're filtering through, okay, that matches me, that kind of matches me, that matches me. All right, this seems like a match. All right, so, and now it's gone from a free date and something fun to something romantic because there's a connection there. There's an indescribable vibrational connection that within that moment of time, only the two of you could probably explain. But as you can feel the magic start to happen. But why's the magic happening? You're getting to know each other. You're getting past the looks. You're getting past the butterflies. You're getting into a realm of, man, this person's really cool. I feel something weird. I feel like I've connected with someone. Which leads to the next part of the date is classy. Here's what I mean by classy. You're polite. You're respectful. You dress for the occasion. I don't mean dressed up. So if we're going to a national park, but I'm dressed well, I smell good, my hair is done, and if it's a hot day, I've provided for her. Whatever it is she might need, I've handled that ahead of time. Because the goal of the first date is get to the second date. And if the second date really rocks it, I'm going for the third date. That's normally how this works. Now, if you've really got a vibe going, one of the coolest dates I ever had was at a sporting event. Now, unfortunately, I took someone, this was, oh my gosh, this was over 20 years ago. Took them to a ballpark. I didn't realize they were afraid of heights, and I took them to the top seat in the top of the stadium. That was problematic. The only problem is I had to give her some alcohol to get her back down. So you can imagine what it was like once I got her back down out of that stadium. I just took her home and got her put up, got her in the bed, and made sure she was okay. Interesting date, but it was a lot of fun. It was interesting. It taught me not to take people to the top of the stadium anymore. But it also still gave me an opportunity to chat. Now, I didn't marry everybody I dated, but I kept a lot of friends out of it, and I got to meet a lot of cool people. Why? I wasn't trying to buy the affection. I wasn't trying to overly convince them that I was so wonderful. I wanted to sit and talk to them about them. I wanted to get to know them. What makes them tick? What would a life be like with them? What's their everyday look like? What are they passionate about? What's God given them as a purpose here on earth? What is it they always wanted to do? What do they need to be loved? And how do they like to be loved? Yeah, you can find that out on the first date, trust me. Sometimes people accuse me of interrogating them, but I just wanted to know because I was interested. It's that simple. All right, so if you have any questions about dating, send me an email. questions@scottferrell.com. Also have a brand new dating product, Dating Magic. You can go by my website, scottferrell.com. I wanted to take the guesswork out of dating. I want to make sure that you married the right one the first time and you didn't have to start her wife and start her husband. That was my goal. Or at best, it teaches you how to date in a very respectful way. That ends up making friends of everybody that you choose to make friends with. All right, coming up, I'm going to go to the mailbag. I got a bunch of questions, and I've been slack the last week of not answering enough questions. Keep them coming. 706-889-9700 is our text, and questions at scottferrell.com. I'll get to the mailbag on the other side of the break.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go. And not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
The summer sell-down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell-down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Welcome back, show. Thanks so much for spending your Monday with me. Hope your weekend was as wonderful as mine. Olympic time, man. I love it. Now, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be a whole lot happier. Why is that? Football. SEC football, man. I'm an ACC boy, but there's nothing better than SEC football. They've indoctrinated me. It took 20 years, but they finally got to me. Now I go through baseball season hoping for football. I didn't think I would ever be that guy. I'm that guy now. I've watched every NFL show you can imagine. The old games. I'm watching reruns of games. I'm so ready for football. What's that got to do with what I'm talking about today? Absolutely nothing. I just want to talk about football. Let's get to the mailbag. Condition of the mailbag. If you want me to answer a question for you, one rule. It's got to help other people. If it's just for you, wow. If it's just for you, got a little frog in my throat today. Just for you, it is info@scottferrell.com, or you can go by my website, scottferrell.com. Let me spell it. SCOTFERRELL.com. All right, once I get your question, I sit down. I've got a whole list of them today, and I answer the ones that are most appealing to the majority. Now I get some interesting questions. I think I wrote some of those out today. But make sure it helps more than one person. All right, let me get to question number 1. Gloria, Tyrone, Georgia. Tyrone, Georgia is now the movie and TV hub, it seems like, of the South. All right, Gloria, what you got? Aha. All right, this seems to be happening to me in some ways, I think. The older we get, and Gloria's question is, the older she gets, the more she seems to tire of stuff, people, traffic. She said she's tired of hearing people's stories, and she's tired of the excuses of people. Excuse me. Yeah, I feel you. I was listening to the sports talk station here in Atlanta, And they were even talking about several of the sport outlets now telling too many stories and not watching enough sports. Well, now we've got a society based on the story. That's great. I mean, I've got a story too. I don't necessarily tell my story all the time. I spoke to a group of pastors about 3 months ago, and it was the first time I'd actually told that story of my life. Now I'll be out in churches telling it, and to look at me, you can imagine what that story could be. I'll eventually tell the whole story here for you. But she's tired of the story. She's tired of the excuses of people. Amen, sister. Gloria, I'm on board with you. I'm tired of hearing excuses. You see the posts all the time, and I know I heard this probably. I went to a motivational seminar when I was 18, I think. And I always heard, you can either find a reason or an excuse. It's a cliche, but there's a reason why that. You'll find a reason to overcome and do it, or you'll find an excuse not to. Okay, it's that simple. We see a lot, especially on TV, and since we've seen the RNC and DNC, and we see a lot of politics, we're seeing a lot of excuses. The scientists, I've got it right here in front of me, the scientist from Iran that gave us the intelligence about their nuke program was hung yesterday in Iran. How did they find out that he was the squealer? Oh, Hillary Clinton's classified emails that weren't really classified that everybody got to read. That's how. They arrested him. There's a picture here with him, a little boy, and they hung him yesterday. Okay? The excuse train is starting to get old. I have to agree with you, Gloria. I'm tired of hearing people give me an excuse for not getting the job done. It's funny to watch Hard Knocks. It's an NFL show about the preseason of one team. And you hear it all the time. Stop giving me excuses, you won't be in the league. I got 53 roster spots. You're not going to be one of them if you don't stop giving me excuses. Now, on the story side, yeah, we've made life about feelings, not about facts and about results. I'm a results guy, so if I tell you a story about my life, it's in an effort to get a result from you. It is not, I want you to feel sorry for me. I work with a lot of people that come with problems, naturally. I don't have a job, I don't have a coaching or consulting firm without problems. But when they come to me, they want to know, one, I know what I'm doing, but two, they can beat it, and three, the outcome's going to be what they wanted. My belief, it still is, if you believe in God, believe you're created, believe you have a purpose and plan and direction, and you stay focused on that plan and direction, you overcome anything. I am living proof of that. So Gloria, thank you so much for your question. Yes, it seems like the older I get, the less patience I have for it. All right, let's move on to Anna, Commerce, Georgia. All right, Anna says she is estranged from her aging father, and she's unsure what to do. Basically, wants to know is, they don't speak, they've been estranged for a while, and she wants to know if she should reconnect. Wow, that hits home because I went through that myself right before my father passed away. The gift was, my father was dying, and we realized that we had a finite amount of time. So what did we do? We buried the hatchet, we loved each other, and we lived a lifetime in 6 months. But we had that luxury. We knew we were at the finish line, and there was no way to overcome that. With you, I've got a feeling that that's not the case. I have to ask a question because I know what it was like with my mom and dad. Had my dad not gotten sick, that would have been a whole different issue for both of us because there was pride attached to that, of course. That's why you're not talking to each other. But when you got a father who's aging and you're estranged, what happened? What happened? I always have to ask because I always look at child programming, then I look at what happened in between, and now I look at now and what's taking place. Naturally, there's a pride issue, there's a respect issue, there's a responsibility issue, there's a feeling issue. Yes, all are in there. I could probably ask 20 gurus in this world. Some would tell you not to, some would tell you not to bother, some would tell you to call him right away. Again, I've been on, I think, every side of this with my family and or someone I was dating or married to. And it's not an easy issue. The key is, and it's just like when I do with a business, outcomes. It's about outcome. What is the outcome you were looking for? Now keep in mind, you can't violate free will. You cannot manipulate someone else's behavior, and you cannot make them do anything. The only person you're an expert on is you. The only person you can control is you. The only person's emotions you can handle are yours. Is it worth it to reach out? Yeah, here's why I can say this. I lost my dad at an early age. I didn't want to lose my dad. I just wanted everything to be okay. Did I go several years without speaking to him? Yes. Am I glad that we fixed it? 100%. I've got those great memories for the rest of my life now. I did not die mad. I didn't let him die mad at him. I fixed it. Is everything fixable? No. No, because you have person one and you have person two. Person two may not want anything to do with fixing it, and person one may. You can't violate free will. You can't make someone else do something, and you can't make somebody feel something they don't. However, it's just like a business negotiation, just like a sales call. How do you know you can't write the business if you don't make the phone call? If you don't send the email, if you don't send the text, if you don't stop by and actually show them what your company can do for them? So I ask you, have you made the sales call? Have you made one or two sales calls? Now, if you've already done that, and they've already told you to hit the road, again, I believe in resilience, and I believe in going back, and I believe in hard work, and I believe in staying focused. But the key is, if someone has told you, and I've learned this lesson too, if someone's told me they don't want anything to do with me, I'm not going to invade their space. They know how to find me. They know my phone number. They know where I live. They know how to contact me in any way, shape, or form and what to say. So if they don't want to be part of my life, I'm not going to force somebody to do that. I know that's an overly complicated answer to this, but there isn't a yes or no to this. That's the key. Because you've got an estranged father. Y'all haven't spoke. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why you stopped speaking to each other. But I try to take the emotion out of situations looking at end results. I don't want to get caught up in the emotion of it because I won't react the way I can for the best outcome. So it's just like sales. Did you make the phone calls? Did you make the text? Did you make the email? Did you make the effort? Once you've done those things, and you know this client doesn't want to do business with you, sometimes you have to walk away from that. However, I always tell people, give them a chance to buy before you stop calling on them. All right, let me get to the next question. I like this question. It's from Chuck, Atlanta, Georgia. Chuck wants to know, what is the best way to select an AAU basketball team for his kid to play on? I was an AAU coach for a long time, and I was very fortunate. I was with one of the best programs in the state of North Carolina. All right, I'm getting the finger flashed at me. What I'm going to do, Chuck, is that I'm going to hold, and I'm going to answer this question on the other side of the break. Now, if you want to be part of this, it's questions at scottferrell.com, or send me a text, 706-889-7900, or go by Facebook, like our page, put your question up there, because I like to see people's responses to your questions. If you've got the question, chances are somebody else has the question also. So feel free to ask it. I'll be glad to answer it. If it's something that you want me to handle on a coaching or consulting basis, go to scottferrell.com or hit me up at info@scottferrell.com. Chuck, I'll be back with your question and the mailbag as soon as we get back.
El Rey and Elijah.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elijah.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Elijah. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go. And not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
So I came in today, I got a coffee and a hug and a kiss and told her how glad I was to see her, and I just can't start my day without her. There you go. You know what I'm all about now. Great coffee, good friends. So hopefully your day started the same way mine did. All right, I promised mailbag, but before I get to the mailbag, I want to make sure you know how to find Jonathan, 180 Sports Performance in Houston, Georgia. Where is Houston? Well, if you've ever been to Chateau Elan, just get on 95 in Atlanta and drive north. And you'll get there. About 55 miles from downtown. Beautiful area. Great facility. Jonathan's probably one of the more knowledgeable people I've ever met. His mentor, Chip Smith's one of the best. Jonathan got trained by the best. He was a top shelf athlete in high school and college, and now he's helping you and your kids fulfill everything you wanted to do from a physical realm. I trust Jonathan with my own health. That's why I have him on the show. Anything he says, I believe is true, and I don't question it. So 180 Sports Performance, look him up on Facebook and see how he can help change your physical appearance and your life today. All right, let me get the mailbag. Now, keep in mind the rules for the mailbag. It's got to apply to more than one person. If it does, I'll be glad to answer it. I got sheets of questions now I got to answer. Questions at scottferrell.com is how you reach me, or 706-889-9700. Or go by Facebook. It's great because people are working Facebook this morning for me. It gives me an opportunity to see what you're thinking about, and it gives other people an opportunity to see what you want to talk about. All right, let me get to the next question. This is a tough one. I don't have the name. I don't like to use the name when something bad happens. Person's cat's died. They're deeply depressed, and they want to know how to handle it. The person said she's more sad now than she was when she lost her parents. I understand that one. For one of my parents, I didn't shed a whole lot of tears. I understand that, but I'm not going to talk about that now. Cat's died, you're depressed. Why shouldn't you be? Now, keep in mind, as I answer these, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not an attorney. I do have a degree in what I do. I've done it for over 25 years. I've coached people for almost 25 years. and I'm very successful at it. That being said, let's handle this problem. In the event that you can go on any government website, look up depression and its the effects and what you got to do. I just want to talk about the actual event, because in the event it goes past the actual event, you need to go see a medical doctor. Let's just talk about the event and let's talk about the facts. Your child died. What normal person's not depressed? Probably weeping openly. That cat was your child. What would I do if one of my kids died? I'd be weeping openly. I would be very upset. Go to a group of parents who have either lost their child to an accident or suicide. I used to speak to those groups and I helped arrange some of those groups, and it's very difficult. So you're in that category because your cat was your child. Yeah. So the key is stay around your friends. I mean, you can look this up online. I'm not giving you any tips that you can't specifically go to Google and look up. You just happen to ask a question and I'm going to answer it for you. They have support groups for people that have lost their pets. Now, some people think I'm nuts, but please bear with me on this one. When someone loves their pet, and she said she took it harder than she did when she lost her parents, that is their child. And I know a lot of people that didn't have children, but they have a dog or a cat or a pet. The head of Scaly Adventures, they lost their snake this year, and that just wasn't a snake. To their son, that was his best friend. And that was difficult for them, and they had a little ceremony and everything because Goliath was the star of the show, Scaly Adventures. If you ever want to watch Scaly Adventures, it airs on Daystar on the weekends. Great kids program. It's one of the best that I've ever seen. I just happen to be friends with the family. And when they lost Goliath, the snake, it was very difficult. Now, I know a lot of moms would be thrilled to lose snakes. Not in the house, but out in the woods and get them away from them. So your cat was your family. So you lost a family member. The key is, what do you do now? Understand you've got a creator. I can go through all this, but I just want to handle the fact that for some reason, you don't think you should feel this bad. Now, how do you handle it? Okay, clear enough. If it's bad enough, you go see a medical doctor. Okay, that's always my first response, a medical doctor. Just make sure you find one that fits your needs and what's going on. Outside of that, I can tell you the same thing Google's going to tell you. Get outside, get enough vitamin D, get enough vitamin E, get enough B12. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nutritionist, so I don't, and again, I'm reading it right off Facebook right now and Google. But the key is, understand that you lost a child. Understand that life's not over. Understand that life goes on. In some great way with a pet, you can go get another one. I've had friends that have lost their children, their pets. And then we went out and we picked out a new one. And we went and got it, and we took all that love from here, and we put it here. Can it replace the former? No. Not at all. It's like trying to replace a child. I think I'll just have another one. That one will be never thought about. That ain't how this works. But we did go get a new dog, and we went and got a new kitty, and it sure did soften the blow some. And they learned to love that one just as much as the other one. Is there an easy way to handle this? No. It just takes time, and they say time heals all wounds, and I've seen several posts today that said that wasn't true. A reason to heal the wound does, but you got to have a reason. And it sounds like this is really new. So get your best friend, get together, just talk to your best friend. I tell people sometimes the best thing you could ever do is have a best friend and sit down and talk to your best friend about what's going on. Some of the best, most therapeutic thing you can do sometimes, I think. All right, let me get to the next question. Thank you so much for that one. I like this one. This is Amy from Savannah, Georgia. I found out I'm pregnant. How do I share the news with the family? All righty. A lot of people now didn't have this luxury when I was younger. Is they'll sit on the couch. The husband and the wife will sit there with the computer and they'll Skype everybody and tell them at one time. A lot of families, and I've seen this happen, instead of conference calling everybody with the cell phone, they'll call one family and then call the other. Who'd you call first? I have seen moms do this. Who'd you call first? Why don't you call them first? Why don't you call us first? I'm your mother. And then you get the huffing and the puffing. Mom, No disrespect here. We were just trying to get this handled. Well, you could have called me first. And then if you don't call his mother first, you just want to know why you didn't call her first. Skyping it, baby. I'm Skyping it. That way everybody's there, everybody's tuned in, and we tell everybody at the same time. Easy enough. How was that? Found out you're pregnant? Now, I'm not a real big fan of we're pregnant. He ain't pregnant. I've never been a big it's like, how long is he going to carry that baby? He ain't. He helped manufacture it. He was there at the beginning. He had all the fun. You got all the work. Take credit for it. You're pregnant. He ain't. It drives me crazy when couples go, we're pregnant. Okay, well, you're going to ship that baby over to him sometime? Now, it may look like he's pregnant. He's eating so much while you're pregnant, but that ain't how it rolls. All right, so I hope that helps, Amy. I know I'm being funny, but parents feel slighted. Sometimes they don't let it go. I've been at those events where mom and daddy I've been to the baby showers, then I've been to the hospital with the baby, and then I've been at the baby's birthday, and there's one set of parents still talking about the fact that they didn't get told first. Skype it. If you got the means, knock it out. It's that simple. If you got a question for me, it's questions@scottferrell.com, or you can text us 706-889-9700. All right. I'm running out of time, so let me handle something I just saw on Facebook, and then I'll come back to the mailbag when we get. I don't like to get halfway through a question and then come back and have to answer it. Facebook question. It was talking about customers. And as I talk about relationships, it's still like dating. How do you know that your customers have broken up with you? It's kind of like dating. They don't call you. They don't text you. They don't email you. They don't take your phone calls. And when they see you, they don't really want to talk to you. And I saw an ad on Facebook a second ago with one of the speakers I love, Scott McCain. And it reminded me of what I was talking about with dating. If you do your job in dating, and you meet the needs needed, why in the world would they go somewhere else? So remember that with customer service, a little tidbit that's got nothing to do with the questions. But if you want your customers to stay, it's just like dating. Give them a reason to stick around. All right, if you got a question for me, questions@scottferrell.com or 706-889-9700. If you want to bring me on as a coach or consultant, that's different. info@scottferrell.com or go by my website, scottferrell.com, or you can go by my Facebook page. I've got one, scottferrell.com, and also have a celebrity page that I have for what I do outside of in the world. All right, when I get back, I'm going to get back to the mailbag. I promise I'll get through as many questions as I possibly can, and I'll get you as many answers as possible. I'll be right back.
El Rey and Elijah.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elijah.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Elijah. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go. And not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Welcome back to the mailbag. If you got a question for me, it's questions@scottferrell.com. Also 706-889-9700. Again, I want to thank Jonathan Loudermilk for stopping by. 180 Sports Performance. If you want to get in shape, your mind, great place. If you want your kid to be the top athlete that you think they can be, even better place. 180 Sports Performance. Go by Facebook, check them out. All right, I got a great question. I'm searching through all my questions. I want to get to one of the funny ones. This one's a funny one. Now remember, if you send me something about sex, about something intimate, etc., I will not use your name. But this question's funny, so I got to answer it. Here was the gist of the question. I'll say young lady because it was from a young lady. She's talking about how great the sex was in their relationship, but all they do is fight. What should they do? I love these questions. All right, what's my number one rule in dating? If you've heard me talk, you know what it is. No sex. Oh my gosh, Scott, you're no fun. That's what I get it, man. Nobody likes sex more than me. Okay, I get it. It's how I roll. All right, I got it. But here's what I know about sex. And I know about the exchange of hormones, and I know how the body reacts, and what truly we respond to, which is smell. Again, look it up on the Google, and you'll be able to see it. What happens when we start having sex right out of the gate? First date, wow, bam, 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 got it done. Whew, I'm good. You've stopped growing emotionally. Now it's all about sex. Man, that was good. I got to do that some more. It's kind of like ice cream at night, man. I love ice cream at night. I can't go without my ice cream at night. Well, now I can't go without sex. Here's an idea. If you want a relationship to last, let's not make it a booty call. Why don't we make it something about feelings and purpose and thoughts and love and who they are? Here's an idea. Why don't we talk? Experience life. I did a date scenario a little while ago about what we can do on a date, a first date to make us have a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth date. Sex was nowhere in there. Why? I want your relationship to last. As soon as you start having sex, you stop discussing issues. As soon as you start having sex, those little things that should matter don't, because the sex is so great. We have sex all the time. It is cataclysmically good. But all we do is fight. I've had people walk up to me and go, man, I don't know why I'm dating this dude. He's such a jerk. He treats me so bad. When's the last time y'all had sex? This morning, how was it? Oh my God, it was good. I think you just answered your own question. So let's get this straight here. Sex is not how you pick your partner. If you want to do that, you might as well go get a camera and earn a couple bucks. Outside of that, that's stupid. Yes, I'm being facetious. Sex is safe for something intimate and special, etc. Got it. It can still be cataclysmic, but let's not build our whole relationship on it because it ain't going to build a real solid one. If you build a house on sand, what's going to happen? With no concrete foundation, yeah, it's going to collapse. If you build a relationship on, oh my gosh, sex, what's going to happen? Yeah, eventually it's going to collapse. So, hey, you're having great sex. Congratulations. But the fighting's going to get worse. And once the fighting gets worse, what's the point of the sex? What crashes most relationships? Sex and money. Stop having sex and now the money becomes a bigger issue. If we've never learned to talk to each other, it's an even bigger issue. See where we're going with this? Here's a formula that'll work though. Purpose, plan, direction. Figure out who you are first. Don't allow someone to use you just for the booty call. Figure out if they match you, just like a business deal. You ain't having sex with your business partners. Don't start having sex with your in a couple. Same thing. You want a long-term business partnership that's profitable. You want a long-term relationship that's profitable. And profitable, I mean emotion, love, respect, appreciation. Yeah, you got some money in there too. And yeah, you want to have great sex the rest of your life. But don't make it the centerpiece of your relationship because that ship will sink. All right, let me get to the next question. Thank you so much for that question. Love answering those. All right, next one. Vicky, Swanee, Georgia. All right, Vicky is turning 50 and she's struggling with it. All right, Vicky, hey, when I turned 50, I was elated I was still alive. Many times they told me they weren't so sure if I was going to make it, but I did. Turning 50. It's really cool. It means you got the halftime. Now you got the rest of the second half to live. It beats the alternative. I had a mentor tell me one time, the only place that people don't have problems is in the cemetery. And he made me go sit in the cemetery for 3 hours on somebody's gravestone and just sit there. Taught me a big lesson. It is perfectly quiet. I was afraid if somebody did talk to me when I had more issues than I had before I got there, but nobody did. But it was completely quiet, a little windy day on that day, a little chilly. But I remember walking out of there thinking, wow, I got to maximize my time, man. I got a timeline, and it is limited. Time is finite here on earth. It's infinite in eternity. I got to maximize what I've been given. Okay, you're 50. You turned 50. You probably still look great too. Make the other 50 better. All right, I've already lived my first half. I got to halftime. I'm 51 now. I want to make the second half better. I made a lot of mistakes as a youngster. I did a lot. I can improve on this life, and not only can I improve on mine, but I can help other people get to their goals and objectives and help their lives get better and help them solve problems. So when I got up and I was 50, I actually turned 50 at Disney World. It's funny, I turned 30 in a chateau in France, and I turned 50 at Disney World. Well, that's pretty cool, man. I don't know what I did at 40. I'll see what I can do at 60. Enjoy it. You're 50 years old. You can get better as a person. You get better looking. You can do whatever it is you want to do because now you got the sense to do it. Knowledge is great, but you got to have some wisdom with the knowledge. And a lot of times we've had to weather the storms to be wise. At 50, we've got so much to give the rest of the world. Look back at the millennials. They need you. They need us. They need our generation to act like we got some sense. Think less on the tragedy of turning 50 and the gift of turning 50. Not everybody gets to, man. I looked back at my 30th reunion, and we lost a lot of classmates. Either to heart attack, cancer, you name it. And it's very sobering to look back at that list and see who's not there. And it looks like you probably just had your 30th reunion. I got my 35th coming up. It's very difficult to know that you didn't maximize the time. And if you really want to be jarred, go by the Children's Hospital. That is sobering. I used to have people, I used to teach kids who were severe and profound. And if somebody was having a bad time with their life and they thought their life was awful, I'd have them come by and help me for one day. They always left with a different perspective. So, Vicki, thank you so much. Happy birthday. And I hope this helped you, my dear. All right, let me get the next question. Becky, Charleston, West Virginia. Beautiful place. Go Mountaineers. Best present for a man. She wants to know, what is the best present for a man? Is this a trick question? All right, guys, help me here. All right, you feel me. What am I getting ready to say? Somebody tell me, what am I getting ready to say? What is the best present for a man? My girl answered it a little while ago, but she fights over it all the time. Yeah, it's sex. My work here's done. I can go home now. I wish it was that easy. I really do. What's the best present for a man? It's not sex for every guy. I wish there was a blanket answer to that. What's the best present for me? Okay, that would answer it. Me and about 80 million other guys. But what's he like? That's the thing. There's not a blanket answer for this. What is it that he really enjoys? I've got a lot of buddies that sex would not be the answer. It would be something else. It would be something that has more meaning. I'd be a little shallow with that answer. For me, yeah, it works. But I'd like a little something else with it. But what's the best present for a man? There's not a blanket answer for every man. It's just like, what's the best for you or you or you or you? Well, there's 3 different people there. 3 different people want 3 different things. What has he told you he wants? What are his interests? What's his pursuit? What's his purpose? What's he like to do? What's he like to do as his hobbies? What's he do in his free time? What's he love doing with you? If you hit on those areas, then you got something. Now, if you want to throw sex in the mix, I ain't seen any guys that are going to complain about it. Just don't throw in the fighting like the other question. You can have great sex, just don't do the fight. But yeah, figure out what he wants. Ask him. You can do it in a covert way. You can just get somebody else to do it. But do it and ask. Let me get to the next question. Thank you so much for that, Vicky. That was Becky, actually. Thank you. Okay, here we go. I love to travel. And I didn't get a name for this because this one's but my husband hates flying. What can we do to make this enjoyable? Sedate him. Let him drink a 5th of vodka. Do liquor shots on the way in the airport. Load him down with drugs. Go see a doctor for those. It sounds like a question my own wife would ask. My wife loves to travel. I love traveling. I don't like the flying part of it, but I love traveling. I get really sick on flights. I get airsick. So when the vomiting starts, it's a whole lot. Oh yeah, wasn't that a great flight? Oh yeah, 5 hours of throwing up in a garbage can. Yeah, that was a blast. But I've gotten better. A friend of mine, same deal. He started taking flying lessons, and now he can fly on anything, and it doesn't bother him. I had a little equilibrium issue that really makes flying a hassle, and it's no fun. I don't know if that's your husband or not. How do you make it enjoyable? Focus on the outcome. I can endure anything if I know the payoff's great. Man, and we've had some really cool trips, and I'll keep flying, and I'll keep doing it. I go speak. I fly everywhere I have to. If somebody hires me to go speak, I go do it. If somebody hires me to consult, I go do it. But if it's a vacay and you like traveling, keep going. You got a better chance of getting struck by lightning, hit by a tornado, hit by a hurricane, losing the lottery, and getting run over in the middle of a road at the same time than you do of getting hurt on an airplane. If that doesn't work, look up a pilot and ask them. They'll tell you. And then if that doesn't work, go take a flying lesson. That does work. You get an opportunity to see what's really going on. Now, if you got an issue like I do, clear it through your doctor first, of course, and clear it through the flight people also. Let everybody, here's the thing, is just be honest about your health conditions. But flying can be fun. It's the fastest way to get anywhere. And I'll tell you what, that destination's worth it. So if you got a great trip planned, get on that plane and go, man. Go have some fun. If you throw in some sex, it helps too. Just ask the last 3 people that asked me a question. Yeah, I'm being funny. But it probably would help take your mind off of it. All right. Serious note, if you have any more questions for me, questions at ScotFerrell.com. Got a great guest tomorrow. I love bringing rock stars on because we talk about more than just the music. The music is the key, but we talk about being moms, girlfriends, dads, and family members, and people of the community and what they like to do personally. So if you have a question for me or you need consulting or coaching, it's ScotFerrell.com. As always, before we go, I want to stress something. Time is fleeting. If you're turning 50, what's the first thing you got to do? You got to let people know how much you love them. So if you got somebody out there you love, let them know. It's that simple. Text them, email them, call them, hug them, love them, whatever it takes. Until next time, I'll see you later.